Take it on back to them. I'm right, you're right. Everybody come along. Talk it on over and we'll find out who's wrong. I'm wrong, you're wrong.
Coming at you.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, what a week.
I heard you're in a fucking hurricane over there.
Well, I wasn't in a hurricane. I went north, and then my house was in a hurricane. It didn't do so well.
Your house, huh?
Yeah, still underwater.
Still underwater?
Right.
Why are you talking all weird?
I don't know what you're talking about. I've not had anything to sleep, and, you know, I was trying to live out of a hotel, and anything I could pack in my car.
Need a good cup of coffee, do you?
Yeah, I do. So, how's things up in the north? Did you get a rainstorm or something? Anything happen in your life?
No, it's humid here. I'm blaming it on the hurricane.
Humid. Yeah, that's what you should worry about is the humidity. You know what you should try to do? Pack all your shit in a car. That's what you should try to do, and then leave.
And then leave all my shit behind?
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, I talked to the neighbor, and his house is gone too, and we can't even go back. It's the river's not even going to crest for another couple days. So, I don't know.
So I went to Walmart to buy some vegetables, and all the tomatoes were fucking mushy. So I'm kind of pissed off about that.
Really? That's what you're pissed off about? Mushy tomatoes? Mm.
Yeah. Couldn't get any good tomatoes. You had a good meal lately?
Yeah, we've been eating in a lot of restaurants in Virginia.
Virginia, huh?
Yeah. You know, Virginia's for lovers.
Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, shit.
All right, so are we going to stop doing this now because I'm out of material?
Yeah, I'm out too. I thought it would be a lot funnier. We fucked that all up.
Well, if it was funny, it wouldn't be the show.
Good one.
All right.
So everybody listening, they got to know that that was not Doug, believe it or not. We're here with John Bukkake.
Yes, John Bukkake.
Yeah. John Bukkake from the other shows that he does.
Yeah. And what happened was some of this is kind of true. Doug is basically homeless.
Yes.
He lost everything. That sucks.
Yes.
And I just want to make a plea to you right now, because we're going to put something in the show notes. You know how to put something in the show notes, right, Anthony? Because I know Doug does most of the work here.
Hey, don't break the fourth wall.
All right, just fourth wall. I'm talking to you. I'm not talking about Doug anymore. I'm not talking like I'm Doug anymore. So Doug's really, listen, this is something that you can't even prepare for, and there is a GoFundMe for Doug, and the link for that will be in the show notes. And if you can, anything that you can do, if you can send it to him, it would help him out immensely. I can't even imagine going through something like this, like having no backup. He has no family down there. It's just him, his wife, his daughter, and a lot of water.
Yeah. Last I heard, he said he had 8 feet of water in his house.
Right, that's a lot of feet.
That's what he had heard.
Right. So, I mean, you go back there, and I don't even know how long that takes to... I mean, you basically got to gut the whole house, and then you get the fish out, and then I think in North Carolina, do they have gators in North Carolina?
We're gonna go with yes.
So you got to keep banging around the stick to see if there's any gators.
I heard my wife was reading watching on the news. When you go back, you got to watch out for snakes. So that's a problem that he's gonna have to deal with. Fucking snakes,
right?
Who would have thought? Fucking water snakes.
This first time I saw a snake, I would take 10 gallons of gasoline and burn the house to the ground. I hate fucking snakes.
Oh,
I hate them. I'd be, that's it. Just get the gas, get everything out. Just
not only that, but these are the water snakes, the ones that fucking swim.
Right.
If they're swimming at you, fuck.
Well, and usually they're poisonous too.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and you never know where you're going to get bit, and then someone's got to suck the poison out.
Right.
So then you got to walk around. Will you suck this? Suck this, please.
Yeah. I need you to suck this. I mean, I walk around like that anyways, but...
Yeah, but that's a whole different story.
Different story. The point of this story is try to help Doug out, man. He's a good guy.
Yes.
He needs your help.
Yeah, he actually is a nice guy, contrary to what goes on this show. He is actually
I bring
really
out the
nice.
worst in him, I think, though. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, well, I think it's your preparedness that he loves so much.
Right. It was my idea from the beginning to do a podcast. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what that means exactly.
Well, I love that.
I don't know why I brought that up.
Let's do a podcast, and then Doug gets
you do all the work.
You do all the work, and I'll step back and I'll just talk.
I never realized that doing a podcast was this much work.
You still don't.
You're right.
You will
right.
now.
I never did. I still don't.
You will now.
No. This is just going to be really bad.
Well, whether the show's bad or not, you still have to put it out. Do you know how to put the show out?
Nope. So
you don't even know how to put the show out.
I talked to Doug earlier today, and he assured me that he is going to put together a step-by-step instructions on how to put our show out.
What color crayon do you prefer?
It doesn't matter as long as I can see it. He takes care of all that. What do you want from me? I just show up. I'm the voice talent.
That's what you are. You're the voice talent.
Right.
So, well, see, the best part about this show is I don't have to prepare anything.
Right. You just say, you're the voice talent, so we are really screwed.
Yes. This should take about, I don't know, we're 7 minutes in right now.
Yep. I think we're out of material already, aren't we?
I don't know. You're going to have to tell me.
Oh, no.
We would have to start with some kind of material to be out of material.
I figured we would get 8 to 10 minutes of material out of talking about Doug and begging people for money for Doug. And we're 7 minutes in, so...
So then after that, we do what? We bail? Then we go. Then we do the Patreon episode.
Yeah. Don't forget to go to our Patreon.
Right, because we got to give them their quarter's worth. Because as soon as I found out Doug's house was underwater and he wasn't going to be podcasting, I went right over to Patreon and unsubscribed. I'm not giving quarters for no content. I mean, I want you to work it, baby. Work it.
Oh,
because
shit. So do you listen? Okay. Do you listen to the Patreon episodes?
Everyone. I've listened
really?
to everyone.
So are they worth?
They're worth
cents?
A quarter. Yes, they're
worth,
absolutely worth a quarter.
All
but
right.
then again, what else can you buy for a quarter? What else do you buy that's only 25 cents?
You could buy a gumball. Would that be more entertaining than listening to me and Doug? Sorry, Doug and I.
I don't know. Yes, sometimes. It depends. Like I look at the Patreon and I see like 8 minutes, and I'm like, 8 minutes?
8 minutes? Well,
wow.
I'm paying you a quarter for this shit.
Right. That's a lot of money for 8 minutes.
So, how do you feel about advertisements in podcasting?
I think that they are necessary. I think that when they are put in correctly, people don't mind. And I think that you guys are performing a service, and if you want to get a little bit of, a little bit payback for this, because, this is really hard on Doug. And, it takes a lot of his time.
What a dick.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
I can't argue with that.
Okay. Just wondering. So yes.
So, okay. So my argument is if this is hard on Doug and he deserves a little payback for this, why should we get Casper Mattress involved? Why shouldn't we have a quarter a week coming from you, or do you understand what I'm saying? What's wrong with a Patreon model over a advertising model?
The problem is that everybody else is doing it for free, and you're not good enough to charge just for your content yet.
I was with you until you said you weren't good enough. Everybody else is giving it away for free. That's the problem. So if everybody started charging, then everybody would be better off.
Nobody would listen. Nobody would listen because it's the internet, and we get everything on the internet for free. Again,
so if we didn't get everything on the internet for free, then everybody would be better off, right?
Well, if the Queen had
do you
balls,
see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Do you see everything? I'm not even talking about just podcasting. I think that advertising as a business model has ruined a lot of things. It has destroyed whole economies. You know what I mean? I know you're going to make fun of this, but when I say it,
no, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I think that giving things away for free and using advertising as a model has destroyed a lot of businesses. It's just destroyed the whole pornography business. I mean,
it destroyed the pornography business? How is that?
Absolutely it did. Have you? Do you know how much money they used to make and how much they make now?
No, I don't, because I'm not really.
7 and 3.
7 and 3. They made 7 and 3. You're just making this shit up.
Well, yeah, of course I am. Do you think
Okay.
I have facts to back up my bullshit?
I would have been shocked if you did. All right, so okay, so let's just use the pornography. So you want to go back to paying for your pornography? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, absolutely.
You do.
Yes.
What's stopping you from paying for it now?
It's free.
I see. So you just
it's
want
free and readily available.
Right.
I want everybody else to pay for it.
so you could still get it for free.
No, I'll start paying for it if everybody else does.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying is everything on the internet is free. See what it is? It's the tease. Like when you go to, okay, so what is your favorite part of pornography?
Was that a trick question?
I don't, apparently it is. What is your favorite?
When the penis goes in the vagina.
That's your favorite part, right? That's what you like the most?
Right, sure.
What about at the end? Is that where it goes and how it goes? Is that a problem for you? Or is that your, like, does that do it for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
sure. We'll go with that.
all right. So what if they cut that off? They got you right to where they were just about to be, and then all of a sudden they said, "Oh, go here and pay
And
this."
then I have to pay for it?
Right.
I got to pay for the rest?
Right.
Are you asking me if I would pay for it?
Yes.
Well, of course I would. I used to before it was free, so I mean, of
Okay.
course I would.
All right. See, so I guess in the way of podcasting, there's, and again, because I do this a lot, there's a lot of different ways of making money in podcasting that would turn your podcast into a marketing tool instead of something you made money with. Like, let's just say that you and Doug went out on the road and did live shows. You took
That's like a fucking nightmare for me, but that's what Doug
right,
wants.
I know. You'd have to go out of the house and
Yeah,
go out
exactly.
and do a show where you would sit up on a stage, you would sell tickets to the show. All right. And then that would make you money. The way that you would get people to that show would be advertising through this podcast.
Sure.
So this thing would become an advertisement for your live shows.
Sure.
All right.
But that's different than what I'm talking about.
Well, I know everybody wants to do that. They came in, they got a $60 microphone, they plugged it in their computer, and all of a sudden they think that everybody's supposed to pay you.
Yeah. I don't understand
Well,
the problem.
who told
If
you
I'm
to start
getting-
podcasting? Who
What's
told
that?
you? Who told you to start podcasting?
Who
Number
told
one.
me? Nobody told me. I was like, I looked at, this is the story. I'm not making this up or embellishing this. I looked at Last Podcast on the Left. I like that show. I
Very
looked at their
well done.
Patreon. What's that?
Very well done.
Yeah. I looked at their Patreon and it said that they make $40,000 a month in Patreon or whatever the fuck it is. And I said, I want $40,000 a month. So I texted Doug and I said, hey, what do you think about starting a podcast? And he's like, I don't know, that sounds stupid. And then I sent him a screenshot of $40,000 a month on Patreon for Last Podcast on the Left. And a week later, we were recording a podcast.
Very poorly, but yes, okay, I got that.
Yes,
all right, so
yes.
all right, so do you feel that this podcast is on par with Last House on the Left?
No, we're way better than they are.
You're way better than they are.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
why are they getting paid and you're not?
Because people are stupid.
That's it. That's what's going on. People
No,
are stupid.
in all reality, that is their full-time job. They put a lot of time into that show. Doug and I put very little time into this show.
Okay. As a listener, I know
Yes.
that. All right. So I don't have, listen, neither one of my balls are crystal, so I can't really predict this, but I'm just saying that if you quit your job and did this full time, you still wouldn't make as much money as Last Podcast on the Left.
Why do you say that? You don't believe in me?
No,
That hurts my feelings.
I know. But you would have to have something.
I know.
So you know what they're doing. You know what else they don't do? They don't eat when they're podcasting. I don't know that.
Neither,
Just kidding.
that's coffee. You don't eat coffee. You eat
That's,
coffee?
That's coffee? You got like a
What?
55-gallon drum there with a spoon.
Yeah,
Look at the size of that thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't like coffee?
Oh, I love coffee. I'm a big coffee drinker. All right, so let's get back to your non-talent. So what I'm saying is that the reason that they get paid money is because they provide value to their audience, and their audience says, hey, listen, how can I do something? Let me give you some money. And then So that's what happens. They get their audience involved.
Do you listen to Last Podcast on the Left?
No, I don't like it. But that doesn't mean
what? Do
I don't
you
like
listen
it.
to our show
Yes.
every week when it comes out?
Yes.
I think you just proved my point for me. We are giving somebody value.
Yeah, I pay $1 a month. What do you
Right.
want from me?
So nothing. I want nothing. That's exactly what I want.
So
is
all you have to find
for you to recognize that we are giving you something,
Right.
Something of value.
So you have to find 39,999 other stupid people like me. All right, and there you
Right.
go. So that's all you have to do.
Right. Well, yeah. What's the problem? Where are they at?
I don't know.
All right. I think we need. I've talked to Doug about this, and I think we need to turn this into a multi-level marketing.
Like
business.
Amway?
Yeah. So I'm gonna need you
Me?
to get. Yeah, you. I'm gonna need you to get 50 of your friends to donate to our Patreon, and then they're each gonna need to get 50 of their friends. Do you understand how this works? We're
Yeah.
gonna be rich.
Yes, I know how to do that. I know what a pyramid scheme is. All right.
No, it's
so
not a scheme. There's
it
no
is
scheme.
a little bit.
There's no. No, it's not a scheme. This is.
All right, but
we're selling our talent here.
so now I have to go out and find 50 people
Yes.
to pay you $1.
Yes.
What's in it for me?
I was just gonna say. Do you know what you get out of it?
Nothing.
The satisfaction of helping me and Doug.
Doesn't.
You know what? The satisfaction of helping Doug.
Just
Leave me out of it. I don't even care.
I tried to. I told Doug when my whole $1 goes to him. I said that to him.
Oh God, that hurts my feelings. Oh man, for all the shit that everybody talks, I would love to see Doug do our show with anybody else.
All right, I'll give you that because Doug and I, tried to do a show one time and it was horrible. It was horrendous.
What was the problem?
We did not have the same chemistry that you and Doug have.
Okay.
Doug's a little bit of a. If I could say anything about Doug, he is like a tyrant. Like he's like, be funny and don't do something and
Ready?
make a
1, 2, 3. Be funny.
Be funny now. Say something funny. That wasn't funny. This sucks. Let's move on to something else.
You really are like Doug now. Oh shit.
My favorite part of the show is when he ties you up with his logic. I love that.
I love how you say his logic. I'm glad that you are realizing that it's not real logic.
No, it's real. I'm just saying it's not
no.
something that you don't like.
Oh my
It's so funny. It's like you say something, and then I hear Doug gets real. He's like, all right, Anthony, I want you to go back and listen to what you just said. I'm going to say this again. And then he just lets you hang yourself. He gives you just enough rope to swing. I like
It's
that.
awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, I do. I like that part of it. I like that part of the show.
Good.
So I'm going to try to keep that going here.
Okay, go ahead.
So I actually have access to your Reddit board.
Oh, yeah.
That's nice. Or your Reddit board.
Your Trello board.
Trello board. Right. So I see this.
Don't tell Doug I gave you access to it.
I won't. Doug, don't listen. Doug, skip ahead 30 seconds.
He's going to be mad that I gave you access.
Skip, Doug.
Just the show's probably over now.
Doug, do me a favor. Go skip back a minute and then skip ahead 2. So you don't hear this.
All right, problem solved.
There we go. That's done. All right. So I know you're a big fan of Reddit.
I am, yes.
And now that you're driving the content of the show,
oh, we're fucked.
I can't wait to hear what this is all about.
So I put something on our board, not knowing when we were going to record again because of Doug's predicament, and it's not. I wouldn't say that it's super time sensitive, but it was something that I wanted to talk about. I am a huge fan of Reddit, and as of right now, there's a coup going on inside of Reddit called the Ban Out 2018. Are you familiar with that at all?
No, not at all. What would that actually be?
So there are a group of for anybody that doesn't know, you know how Reddit works, right? You have different groups called subreddits.
Yes.
And every one of those subreddits has a moderator or 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever it is. And there's a subreddit for everything. Anything you could possibly think of, there's a group of people that get together and converse about it, post pictures about it, whatever it is. So there's a group of moderators from different subreddits on Reddit, and they are put together this ban out 2018, where they are getting other moderators from really big subreddits to outright ban users who are part of subreddits that they don't like. Does that make sense?
So they're doing a whole. They're doing the whole. What is that called when you don't let somebody in? What's that called?
Censorship.
There you go, censorship.
Yeah.
So now they're doing censorship,
right.
And is that good?
It depends on who you ask, but if you're asking me,
I don't see anybody else
not.
here, but I will ask you.
I would say that censorship is a bad thing.
All right. So why does the Reddit subreddits why do all the nerds that are in the moderators of the Reddit, why do they think that they should just ban other subreddit users? What's their reasoning?
So it is their reasoning that they're saying is hate speech. They're banning any hate subreddits. But in reality, what they're doing is they're banning anybody with a political leaning that is slightly right of center or even slightly center. If you're not left leaning, then you are a hate speech.
I understand that. Okay. You know, Doug's already screaming at his phone saying, "This isn't funny, move on."
Right.
Yes.
It's my show now, motherfucker.
Right. There we go. All right. So I will humor you for a little bit. All right. So
hey, I like their choice of words there.
Humor me. I will humor you a little bit. All right. So my thing is that if you don't like it, then get out. Why do you need to be in there anyhow? To be honest with you, it's the worst user interface I've ever seen for anything internet. It's like they haven't even got into the late 90s yet with their interface. It's hard.
Are you serious? I love it.
I hate it. It's horrible.
Why? What about
you can't find stuff that you need. Why there has to be a /R in front of something? That's so stupid. All right, all that nonsense, you don't need that anymore. Let's just step in and then start something. Okay, but let's go back to the politics of this whole thing.
No. I want you to stay right where you are.
Oh, you don't like any of that, or you like that? You like /R and then try to find something.
I like the way Reddit is set up. Yes, absolutely.
Right.
It feels like an exclusive club to me that you're not invited to.
Okay, do me a favor. Open Reddit right now and read the first 5 Reddits that you belong to.
All right, hold on. I'm pulling it up on my phone right now.
Okay. We got all that.
I have 3 Reddit accounts. So on my main account,
3?
Yeah.
I gotta have
one. I gotta have one to troll people. I gotta have one for porno, and I gotta have one for my regular account.
All right. So let's go with your regular account. Then we're getting into your porno account because I can't wait to see what Reddit you're into there.
I don't know about all that.
Oh yeah.
All right. So the first thing that comes up. This is from a subreddit called Murdered by Words.
And what's that about?
It is, I'll read it to you. It's a post from...
Please.
It says, 4chan made it up to fuck with liberals who were claiming everything was racist. They fell for it. And then the next comment is, the alt-right supremacist fucks actually started to use it as a white power sign as well because of 4chan. So it kind of is now. And then the next comment is, people have been using the OK hand sign before your dad made his biggest mistake. So what it's supposed to be is, the subreddit's called Murdered by Words. So it's supposed to be somebody who comes back with a witty retort that shuts you down. But obviously that was a very bad example. But that was the first one that came up.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. So if we get back into what you're talking about here, so again, it is like the wild, wild west. It's a bunch of keyboard terrorists that are in there. That's
not true.
This is their life.
It depends on what subreddits you subscribe to.
All right, let's get into the good ones.
If I scroll down a little bit,
there we go.
I'm part of the synthesizers subreddit. There's no drama. It's all about synthesizers.
Jesus Christ!
Just talk about synthesizers.
Okay. All right.
You got a problem with synthesizers?
No, I don't. It's great. It's where all you nerds need to hang out. All you synthesizing nerds. That's where you should all go. Okay, good.
But you said it's all keyboard warrior drama. It's not like that.
All right. Okay,
depending on what you belong to.
Get to the porn one. Get to your porn one. I want to hear.
I can't do that.
Yeah, come on. Just give me one. Give me the tamest one you have on there.
All right, hold on. I gotta.
I log out. I gotta remember my password. I gotta
log into my fucking porno one.
Right. What's my password?
This is no.
XXX69.
Can you see my screen?
No, I'm not doing that. Jesus. All right.
I know you were just looking for get your jollies off here.
No, I'm dying to know what sick fucking porno that you're into.
Regular porno.
Regular
what do you mean what's sick?
What's
the
regular
penis goes
porno?
in the vagina.
What? Go ahead.
Do you not like vaginas?
I want to hear the very top one of your Reddit subreddits in your porno account. What is that?
Pictures of blowjobs.
Pictures of blowjobs.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
that's just what came up.
Is it like just
That's the subreddit. It's called blowjobs.
just blowjobs?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
There's a subreddit for every single anything that you could think of as far as porno. Anything you can think
I know
of.
you're never going to answer me honestly, but is there one in
Right.
there for pinning, and are you a moderator?
Pinning?
Yes.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, come on. That's not true. You know what pinning is.
I don't know what unless it's called something else.
Pinning is where a woman puts a strap on, and the guy gets on all fours, and she has her way with his.
No, that's no.
That's not
no.
pinning. That's what I heard pinning was.
No, I'm not arguing you with that. I'm arguing that I would. No, I'm not interested in that.
You're not interested in that?
No, I'm straight, man. Come on.
I'm just wondering, because I don't know.
I'm the biggest homophobe you ever met.
You don't like homos, or is it that you just are afraid that a homo act would actually happen to you?
No, that was a joke. I'm not a homophobe, but
Okay.
I'm not into homosexual pornography.
Okay. There you go. Chicks with dicks?
Oh God, absolutely not.
Okay.
That's the worst.
All right. So what are we going to do about this Reddit ban out? What should we do? Let's fix
What should we do? So, okay. So they are keeping a running list of. Now I gotta fucking log back into my regular. Get out of my fucking porno account.
Oh,
Don't. Oh, me. I get enough of that from Doug.
This Doug. Why did your house have to go underwater? Why couldn't it have been Anthony's?
The show would have went on.
Why couldn't a
just
tornado?
regular, right?
Why couldn't a tornado hit Anthony's house and your house been okay?
Oh shit!
The show would have went on without a hitch.
Right. So I can't find it. I'm not even worried about it. So
Okay.
they have they had a running list of subreddits that they had already convinced Reddit, the company, to ban because so many of their members were involved in hate speech. So
you
they
have
are
the list?
actually say that again.
You have the list?
I couldn't find it. They took it off. They've made their subreddit private and then public again and then private again. It's called the Ban Out 2018.
You said that. Well, again, we don't really know what it means. Okay, so it says,
I tried to explain the best I could. I'm just not.
no,
very good at
I get
explaining.
that part of it, but it says that there's 30 covert left-wing actors
Yes.
have been identified in the censorship plot.
Yes.
And
So what
and
they're
they're
doing is they're going into right wing or even center subreddits and stirring up trouble and trying to make it look like the people on those subreddits are saying horrible, horrible things about gassing the Jews and all that kind of stuff.
And first of all, that's genius. I can't believe that is the most genius thing I've ever heard of. So basically, they're going in there and they're being like a Trump supporter, white nationalist, racist, homophobe.
Say I support Trump and I also want to gas the Jews.
Right.
So they're putting the two together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So they're actually making it so bad so that then the other people go in. But okay. So don't you think Reddit is smart enough to sniff this out?
No.
They're not.
It's not that I don't think they're smart enough. I think that Reddit, the people that actually run Reddit and most other companies have enough of a left-wing sympathy that they don't want to be seen as Nazi sympathizers. And if you don't support the left hard enough, that's what you are, is you're a Nazi sympathizer. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I get that. So, okay. So basically all the Reddit nerds are over there. They're having a coup and they're trying to take over everything by being so they're like the Russians.
Kinda.
Right. Are they Russian Reddits?
I don't know. That's possible. So there used to be a subreddit that I went to quite a bit called SJW Hate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember those.
Have you seen that?
Well, no, I remember you talking about it because that was like half of your show for a while there.
It's that subreddit's gone. They got
rid of that
subreddit banned.
So you can't hate social justice warriors anymore?
Nope, apparently not.
We still do.
Yeah. The last I knew, they were working on the Donald. I don't know if you've ever heard of that subreddit before.
No.
That is ever since before Donald Trump was elected, that was the go-to for all his supporters. It was called the Donald on Reddit, and they're trying to shut that down as hate speech.
Well, so everything that you don't agree with is hate speech.
Not only is it hate speech, but if they don't agree with you, you are literally Adolf Hitler.
Oh, okay. Well, at least they have somebody to do. All right. So I'm going to change the subject.
Okay.
And this isn't on the board that I don't have access to.
Right.
So, all right. So I just found out that this week coming up, I think Thursday, FEMA is going to test the national cell phone system. Where
yes, Donald Trump's going to call you personally.
He's going to send me a message.
Yes.
Hey, we're doing a great job there in North Carolina. We got rid of that Doug guy, and next week we're going to wherever Anthony lives, and we're going to get rid of him too.
That's their whole plan, is to get rid of us podcasters.
Right. Yes, we're going after all the podcasters that are still funny and into diversity. All right, so
me and Doug are into diversity for sure.
Sure you are. You're one of the most diverse podcasts I've ever listened to. All right, so now here's the thing. So I went in to see if I could opt out of it. You can't opt out of it.
What?
No. They have one if there's like, when they had in Hawaii when that one went off because they said there's a missile been fired and everybody in Hawaii was trying to get into the sewers.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that's for like some kind of traumatic event. You can opt out of that. You can opt out of Amber Alerts.
There's a missile coming to your house.
Right. You can opt out
of that.
Yeah, I don't want to know. All I want to see is a flash and say, "What's that?" and it's over. I really don't want to know. But I can opt out of that. But what I can opt out of is the president saying to me, "Hey, you know what? I was just thinking. I was having a peanut butter jelly sandwich down in the kitchen, and I thought, you know what the people need to hear? I can't opt out of that."
Do you follow Donald Trump on Twitter?
Yeah, of course I do. It's the best. It is the absolute best. Here's the best thing. He gets up in the morning, he goes in, he takes a shit, and he immediately stirs up the country. The best part, I don't even read the tweets anymore because I don't care. I go right to the comments. The comments are the best comedy I've ever heard. The memes, the retorts, all of that. It's hysterical. I love it. It's my favorite thing. That's better than Reddit. It's better than Reddit. And if you don't think that's true, I dare you for 5 days to go and in the morning when you wake up, go to his tweets and then don't even look at the tweet. Just go in and look at all the responses to his tweets and come back and tell me that that's not the most fun you've had in forever.
I don't know that I can do that. It's depressing. Doesn't that depress you?
It's hysterical. It's hysterical. Yes. So that and the Colin Kaepernick thing. I love that.
Oh, God.
I love the fact that everybody's upset. That the people that are for it are upset that the people don't like it. All that nonsense. And I love.
Have you started burning your Nikes yet?
No, I would not set my. But I love the fact that the people are too stupid to take them off their feet before they set them on fire. That I love. Not going to lie there. I like that.
God.
And I like the fact that the money that they just spent on these $120 pair of sneakers that they just set them on fire.
Right.
I love how stupid that is. Right.
What's funny to me is the advertisement itself is a picture of Colin Kaepernick, right? And across his face it says, "Believe in something, even if you lose everything," or something like that, right?
Right.
But and then there's the Nike symbol underneath it, which to me, the Nike symbol has always meant there's a 4-year-old kid in China making these shoes.
Right.
That's what I mean. That's literally the first thing I think when I see the Nike symbol is.
So you want
a 4-year-old Chinese girl making shoes? You know what I mean?
So you want to stop that?
Do I want to stop the 4-year-old Chinese girl making shoes?
Yes.
Yes. If I
So
could
you're
stop
against-
that, yes, I would.
So
I
you're
would do
against
that.
children, is what you're saying.
I'm against children. No,
Yeah,
I'm
you're-
not against children.
Because that's the only way they can eat over there in China is if they sew shoes together. For us.
Yeah, for us.
And then
I think you're missing a way bigger problem than it. If
Do you know
think
how
that
much
that's
it would-
the only way
Wait a
that they can eat over there?
Hold it.
Are we going to turn this into a political show? Me and Doug never talk politics.
No, I'm not talking politics, but what I'm trying to say right now is that can you imagine how much those sneakers would cost if we had to have American children sew those shoes together? I mean, it would double the cost.
I'm okay with that.
You are.
Yes, I don't. Yes,
Well, you don't
if you're
buy
stupid
sneakers
enough to
anyhow.
pay $150 for a pair of shoes, then you should pay $300 for a pair of shoes. Yes,
Just because they were sewn together by Americans. Kids.
Americans are better.
American kids are better than Chinese kids? Is what you're saying?
Yes, I just said that. Yes.
Okay. All right.
I live in America. I have to think that American kids are better than Chinese kids. I see American kids every day. I don't see Chinese kids every day. I don't see kids sewing shoes every day either. But
Right. Sewing shoes. You might see a couple of them selling shoes.
right.
Okay. You ever see any of those kids on any of those porn sites?
Why is it going to be like that? We're having a nice conversation, and you got to turn everything all fucking wonky.
Right. Have you ever listened to your own show?
No. I try not to. It's cringeworthy, man.
I was just wondering. Wondering if you listen to your own show every once in a while.
No, I don't see how anybody else can.
But you want $1 for it. That's pretty good. All right.
If you can afford more, I'd appreciate more.
Right. That's what
He said right.
Yes, because that's what you're doing. You're selling. You know what you should do? What? You should make your Patreon, and to get the show, you should make it $5.
Right.
$1 doesn't get you anything. $5.
Well, that's a ripoff.
I know that.
I'm not trying to rip anybody off.
But just think about it. That's only $1.25 an episode. What a cup of coffee is more than $1.25. So basically, what you're asking them to do is, while you're doing this podcast, you're asking them to buy you a small coffee,
right,
for doing this podcast, and your cheap listeners will not even do that for you.
Hey! I didn't call you on my show to make fun of my listeners. All right,
No, I'm just saying your listeners.
That's
should,
my job on my show.
right. You're not doing a very good job of it, so I just step in.
Oh fuck! I know.
All right.
Oh, I want to back up a little bit. You glossed over this whole fact that you want kids in China to make shoes for $0.05 a day.
Yes, I do.
yes, you do.
What else are they going to do?
What do you mean?
What else?
What else? So would you take $0.05 a day to make shoes?
No,
Okay, so why is it okay for the people in China to do that?
because they're under communist. They're communists, and they work
What the fuck
cheaper.
does that have to do with anything?
Well, because we're going to be socialists in a little while, so then the communists should be making. We'll all be making shoes for a dime pretty soon.
Did we switch this show around to you're the one that's rambling here? Because I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
It's good because I don't know what I'm talking about either.
That's good. That's good.
All right.
We're talking about making shoes, and you're talking about socialist, communist. What the fuck?
Well, you were trying to make it sound like I wanted Chinese kids to sew shoes for $0.05. I would listen.
I didn't make it sound like that. I asked you if that's what you wanted.
That
and you
is
said
not.
yes.
I would pay them a
That
quarter.
doesn't make it sound like that. You said it.
Look, I'm not a barbarian. I would pay them
Yes,
a
you
quarter.
are.
I would pay them a quarter. That's what I would pay them.
A quarter a day.
No, a quarter a shoe.
A quarter
Right.
a shoe.
A quarter
that
a
they
shoe.
sell for $150.
Yeah, you don't think you give them a quarter a shoe for sewing them together?
No.
You think that's bad?
They need at least 60% of the cost.
To sew a shoe together?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you give me 60% of a shoe, whatever it costs for a shoe, then I would start sewing shoes. I would give up whatever the hell we're doing here and start
Sew shoes?
sewing shoes. Yes. I'd be sitting there I'd be sewing my fingers together. All
So
that
how
stuff.
much? What do you think the profit margin is on a pair of Jordans that they sell for $150? What do you think that Phil Knight or whatever?
Think it costs,
it's not Phil
honestly,
Knight.
I think it costs them $20 to make them, $5 to ship them here. So then you do the math.
I asked you to do the math.
Well, of course I'm not doing the math. But, we got to pay Colin Kaepernick $10 million so he can put his
Right.
face on there and put white lettering and do that. And then we got to pay the guy that was the thought of that. He's sitting
That's
around
true.
a water cooler and he says, you know what we need to do? We need to get that guy that can't play football anymore, and we'll put his face on the poster, and we'll put white letters there, and we'll piss
Pay him $10
everybody
million.
off. And then what
All right,
happens?
So
It'll be all
you
over
are the
news.
resident football expert on this show officially.
Yes.
Is he a good football player
No, he sucks. He
compared
sucks.
to you or
Well,
compared to?
no, he's amazing compared to me. But what I'm saying is, there's only 30 or 32. I don't remember who because I'm not really that much of an expert. I think it's 30. I think there's 30 starting quarterback jobs in the NFL.
Okay.
And he's not really good enough to do it because what happened was they figured out how to defend him, and he wasn't. At one time he was really good, but then they figured out how to defend him, and they don't know how to do it. And here's the other thing: if he wanted to, he could go to the Canadian Football League and be a god because they're not really talented up there. So, but he wouldn't make half the money that he would make in the NFL, but he would make money.
Do you think that that's true that they're not really talented up there?
They're not as. I'll tell you right now.
Okay, wait. Let's back up.
Okay.
It's easy for you to sit in your chair
Yes.
and talk into your microphone and say how somebody else isn't talented,
Right.
right?
Very easy. Yes. I do it
I'm
every
just making
time.
sure we're on the same page here.
I
You
do it
understand
about
what you're
you.
doing.
I do it about you all the time. So yes, it's
All
very
right.
easy. Go ahead.
Perfect. And I do the same thing. So
I know you do.
I just wanted to make sure that you understood what you were doing.
I understand fully. Yes.
All right. So I know nothing about football. I didn't even know that Colin Kaepernick was a quarterback. I
That's
knew
good.
that he played football. That's
Right.
literally all I knew. And I didn't even know that until he started kneeling for the national anthems.
Right. You know all that kneeling did? Got him $10 million. Would you kneel for the national anthem for $10 million? I know I would.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Give me half. I'll do it for half.
You'll do it for half?
I'll do it for half price of what he's doing it for.
You sell out. You're a sellout.
Fuck it.
You see, now you're against diversity because you're trying to take the money away from the diversity people.
From the diversity.
That's right.
You can say black. It's okay.
I'm not saying black on this show. You're not getting me in trouble. It's not me.
Why you gotta be such a pussy? I think that's
listen.
why people like our show.
You know why?
I'm being very honest. I think that's why people like our show because we just say whatever we want. We're not worried about like you're being a pussy right now. I'm not saying black on
You're
your
right.
show.
You know why? Because then I'll hear Doug call me. What the hell are you doing? We're not oil do that. I'm gonna get fired from the job that just washed away.
Oh shit.
Now I got to go back and live near Anthony again.
We'll have to do the show in person instead of over the phone.
That's not happening. We'll kill each other. Yeah, I don't recommend that because he would choke you out.
You think?
Sooner or later, yeah.
We
catch
used
an
to
elbow.
work together.
I know.
And I actually worked for him
Right.
at one point, and there were several days where this is it. We're not ever going to talk to each other again. This is it. I can't wait. It got so bad sometimes.
I hear you. All right. So, what were we talking about? Okay.
Does it matter? Does it really matter?
No. Just
We filled up a whole fucking 40 minutes?
43
minutes we filled up. With
44
fucking
minutes.
nonsense gibberish.
That's right. You know what?
This show's
not
really
that-
going off the cliff, you
This
know?
show's not that hard to do.
See how that works? This show's not that
I've been
hard
doing
to do.
this all wrong. I've been thinking about topics and having things to talk about and having an opinion. This is great.
See?
Yes.
We fix it all in post, man.
Yes, you do.
Yes, we do.
Yes, you do. All right. So you're done. Are you done? Are we done now? Or do you have something else to talk about?
I didn't have anything else to talk about in the first place.
Okay.
We can be done whenever you want to be done. You are here helping me out.
Does it really help? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We're keeping the show going. Does that help anybody?
Okay, here. I'm just going to say, listener, don't unsubscribe. Doug will be back soon enough and I won't be here anymore. So don't do that. The reason we're putting shows out is so you don't unsubscribe.
There you go. So what I want to know is the whole time Doug's gone, is this show going to go get so bad that when Doug comes back, people are going to realize how shitty I am?
I have a feeling that after listening to this show, Doug will be back next week.
You think?
Yeah. He'll be, I don't care if he's got to be, podcasting from a shelter.
That would be awesome.
Right.
That might actually be pretty fun.
Yeah, he'd be talking to you, and all of a sudden someone come up and say, "You going to eat the rest of your chicken?" Yeah, I'm going to eat the rest of my chicken.
And I'm going to eat yours too, bitch.
Right.
Oh, shit.
Yes. So the best way to get...
The part about it is that I am fully aware that I have no business podcasting. That's the best part.
The best part
You're not
was...
telling me anything I don't already know.
The best part was when you messaged me and said you were going to try to do this by yourself.
I know, that was a joke.
That
was never going to happen.
I was going to say, I'd pay $10 to hear that. I really think I would.
Maybe I am doing it all wrong.
Yeah, maybe. I'd only pay for it once, I think. I don't know.
Well, I think, depending on how bad it really was, maybe if I'm doing it all by myself and by the end I break down crying.
Right. Well, I know one thing we have to do. We have to talk about We Have Merch, because you guys have merch over there. That
Yes.
T-shirts, mugs, cum rags.
We have to talk about him every time, man, because he is a great guy. Go over there.
He is a great
buy
guy.
some stuff. And I think Doug actually has a shirt up there for Doug for well, I don't know what you call that. Like he's selling a shirt to help.
Yeah,
benefit.
it's actually a benefit shirt to help Doug and get him some money, so he doesn't have to podcast from a shelter. All right,
so he doesn't have to podcast ever again.
Right, so he can go to Motel 6 and podcast from the parking lot of a Motel 6.
You know how you could really help Doug is to donate to our Patreon.
No, that's not how you help Doug. You help Doug by going to in the show notes, Anthony, that you're going to make up.
Right.
There's going to be a link to the GoFundMe for Doug, and that's
Yes.
how you help Doug.
Right.
Right. If you give any money to Patreon, Anthony gets half of that. So don't do that
All right.
now.
So
wait.
So do you want to know the truth about Patreon? You know how Doug publishes the show, and I don't know how to do any of that.
Right.
I don't have access to our Patreon either.
Okay.
That's
So
all Doug,
if
too.
that's the case, then you can donate to Patreon, because Anthony doesn't get any of that money either. That's great. Okay. Good.
Doug's supposed to split it with me
Right. After cost. Right.
after costs.
Right. Okay. Well, there you go. I'm sure there's plenty of costs now. So go to wehavemerch.com, and there's all kinds of Who's Right merch over there. Check it out. If you're a podcaster and you don't have merch, it's very easy to do to go over there. The guy is fantastic. He'll help you out. He'll have your site up and running, and he is amazing. So it's so easy to do. You don't have to worry about getting shirts, ordering shirts, all that stuff. He takes care of everything. He takes care of the site. All you do is put a link on in your show notes to his site, and then he does the rest. He just sends you. They come buy your stuff, and then he sends you money. How easy is that? It's great.
Couldn't be any easier.
That's right.
Starting to sound a little advertising. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
No, I don't like that. I don't like your tone.
You don't like my tone? Don't be advertising.
No. I want everybody to go check out We Have Merch, but what you just did was you made it sound a little too advertising. You know what I mean?
It's amazing that you have no Patreon people. Because you don't want to sound, you don't want to sound advertising,
right? See, because I hate advertisements. I got no interest in advertising.
All right, let's try it this way then. How about if it's not an advertisement? How about if it's just a way of telling somebody how they can support the show? Would you accept that?
Yeah, that's what we've been doing. And then you went into this whole long spiel about talking about all their services and talking about how the blah, blah, blah. Don't do that.
You mean
just say,
actually
go over there? They're great. He's a great dude. Go check out his shit.
That's what I did, but I just did it a little bit better than you.
Yeah, but you did better. You did it advertising.
I did it better.
Like advertising.
The problem is I think the problem is that you're just, my talent is what's bothering you. Isn't it?
Right.
That's what it is.
It makes me feel inadequate.
It should. It should.
It should.
Yes.
That was the correct response. Good job.
It should. It should definitely do that. All right. So what do we do now? Because I don't ever listen to your show this long. So I'm in new territory.
How long's the longest you ever made it in?
About
22 minutes?
15 minutes. Nah.
All right. I want you to tell me how great our show is. I want a 15-minute segment of how great our show is normally.
Listen, in an hour and 15-minute show, you'll get 7.7 laughs on an average.
From me. How many from Doug?
That's Doug. You get none from Anthony. Now, I'm only kidding. Honestly,
I get none. I get none from me.
Honestly, you've been on fire the past couple episodes. And I was
Really?
like, well, yeah. I was like, wow, look at Anthony. I don't know what happened. I think he's smoking dope or something like that, or doing shrooms. But he's actually funny. He come up with a couple funny things. I was like, yeah, you make me laugh. You guys make me laugh. And it's the most, if I could explain your show, if I was, someone said to me, what's Who's Right? And I would say, it's a show where two guys go on. They don't really finish the story. They get ready to tell a story. And by the time they get ready to tell the story, they're sick of the story and they move on. That
sounds about right.
That's about right. Yeah.
We're sick of it before we even start talking about it.
Exactly.
We read the headline. I think both of us pull up the story and have it in front of us. We'll read the headline, and then I don't want to fucking talk about that.
Right. I'm done talking about this. All right, next. And just
funny.
Right. And just so you know that the whole time that Doug's down there, have nothing, and Anthony's done nothing to the show, it still says the same thing that was done when Doug left this board that I don't have access to.
That's not true at all.
Really?
I don't know. Hold on.
All right. Oh, also.
Yeah, no. Yep, you're probably right. No. I added a couple things here that you don't have access to.
Okay. And
Georgia schools reinstating paddling. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I'm all for that. I'm all for that. I think if a kid gets out of line.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
I see.
I'm not going to allow you to have that opinion on my
That's right.
show.
You smack that little kid, because you know what? You only have to do it once. You just have to put the fear of you know what? You put the fear in them that it's possible. You only have to beat them once. And then once they know it's possible.
All right, I'm gonna ask you the same question that I ask everybody else.
Right.
When does it go from, what age does it go from discipline to assault?
22.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. 22. So what's the difference?
You know what?
Between spanking somebody and when they're 7 when they do something bad, or punching somebody when they're 23 and they do something bad.
Honestly, here's the difference. When it becomes assault is when the kid can turn around and beat the shit out of the teacher. That's when it becomes assault.
What if the teacher's weak?
Well, then it's earlier.
Then it's early. Your system is flawed.
A weak teacher gets the shit kicked out of her in 3rd grade. A teacher that can handle herself, 7th or 8th grade. That's what you do.
You really can't be for this.
What?
There's no way. Because it's the stupidest thing ever. Do you have kids?
Yeah, tons of kids.
So tons of kids.
I have tons of kids
by tons of different women.
Right. No.
So
I have tons.
Your kids were in school. You would let the teachers spank your kids in school.
If they got to be that bad, yes. But see, here's the thing. I teach my kids at home how to behave. But what happens?
And so do I. So what if the teacher decides?
Your kids aren't going to get spanked. You know who's going to get spanked? The asshole whose kids have no parents. All right, and all that, and they're home, and they're like, you go to a Walmart or a supermarket, and you see these kids like throwing shit at their mother and throwing temper tantrums, stuff like that. I think the store should be able to just move the mother aside and beat the shit out of the kid.
Anybody should be able to beat anybody else's kids.
That's right. I do. Yes. You know what? You're not doing your job. I'm whooping your kid's ass.
So if that's the case, they're not doing their job.
Right.
Why not beat them?
Okay. Let's do both.
That I can get behind.
That's your first.
I can get behind spanking parents.
That's a great idea.
You're not hitting them in the face. I want to bend them over my knee and spank them.
Is that part of your porno Reddit?
Right.
Bending over and spanking?
Only the dads, though.
Yeah.
And only if they're bigger than me.
Right. The women or the women? Oh, the dads. The dads are bigger than you?
Only if their dads are bigger than me. And if I know they can take me, I want to bend them over my knee and spank them.
Really? And then when you wake up with your concussion?
No, I'm protected by the law.
Oh, yeah. Now, that'll work.
I know.
No, I'm definitely for paddling kids. Just the bad ones. Not all of them.
But that's part of my point. Who decides who's bad and what's bad enough to get spanked?
Let me ask you a question. Do you have a brother or sister?
Yes.
Okay. What do you have, a brother or a sister?
I have 3 sisters and a brother.
Okay. Were you ever spanked as a kid?
A couple times.
Okay. Did you ever take a beating for something your brother or sister did?
No.
All right, I have. Okay, so what happened is every once in a while, like my sister would do something and they would make a mistake and they would beat me for it. And when I said, hey, that was unfair. And you know what they said? That's for the time you did something and I didn't catch you.
What?
So there you go. Look, every once in a while, the kid takes a ass whooping, builds character.
That's not true.
Sure it does.
That is so wrong. You think hitting somebody builds their character? That's the most retarded thing I've ever heard. That's why we live in a society where we're at perpetual war, because you think that might makes right is you're beating that into your kids. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
You're going to raise a whole generation of pussies, and then whenever somebody comes over here to attack this country, they're just not going to be able to fight. Let me tell you something.
Because they weren't beat when they were kids?
Exactly. When my dad would rattle his belt buckle, whatever happened, I would stop and sit straight up. If he had to take his belt off to do something, as soon as I heard that belt buckle, it was like a Pavlov response that I would immediately stop doing what I was doing and run.
That doesn't make you a good person.
Just saying.
That makes you scared of being hit. That's a normal response.
Yeah, you're supposed to be scared of being hit. You're also supposed to learn how to behave. If you behave, you don't get hit.
My kids behave and they don't get hit.
That's what I just said. I just said that. But when they step out of line,
but I don't hit. They don't have the fear of being hit.
Well, it's because they behave.
If they do something bad, they know they're not going to get hit. So does that?
Well, your kid's retarded. I don't know what to tell you. The problem is that I'm kidding. They're only half retarded. I'm sure your wife is fine. So
you're right about that. You can talk about my kids, just not my wife.
So anyhow, again, I don't think. I think what happens is that when you have to bring the punishment up to the crime. So in other words, if you tell the kid to get out of the class or stop doing this or something and all, then the kid still starts to act a fool, then you get the paddle. And then you give him a couple whacks.
You're wrong.
Okay.
You're enforcing the might makes right attitude. I can hurt you, so I'm right. Just because you can hurt somebody doesn't mean you are right.
I'm going to ban you from my subreddit, my paddling subreddit.
I think you should start a paddling subreddit.
I am going to start one. I want to beat your kids.
That's what you should call it.
That's right.
I want to beat your kids.
When your kids step out of line, if you don't do your job, I'll do your job.
Oh, shit.
I'm not saying, beat them so they're, just give them a swat or two, a little bit of pain. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being excruciating, about a 5. You got to know how to paddle without leaving a mark.
So you're that's funny. So your 5 on a scale of 1 to 10 is some other teacher's 12 or some other teacher's 3. There's no go ahead and paddle my kids when they're bad.
How about this?
And then the level of bad is subjective. The level of how much do you paddle them is subjective. This whole thing is fucked.
How about this? We just shoot them with a paintball gun.
Right between the eyes.
Now, why do you got to do that? I just say shoot them in the ass or whatever. You shoot them below the neck.
What is your fascination with kids' asses?
I don't have one. I'm just saying. Why do you have to shoot them in the face with a paintball gun? Don't you think that's a little over the... Now I know why you don't paddle your kids. You don't know how. That's why.
I don't know how.
Right.
I've never paddled them. I just punch them in their face.
Right. You just got to...
Oh, shit. We're losing our connection. Uh-oh.
All right. Just give it a second to calm down. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
There you go. There we go.
All right.
Yep.
So my thing is, if you shoot them with a paintball, everybody gets the same sting. No, yeah. I think the guy in the first row gets it a little worse than the guy in the 5th row, but, basically...
Yeah. Just stand them all in a row with their asses hanging out and shoot them all in the ass.
Listen, I'm a problem solver. This is what you do. You put a line on the floor, and then you tell the kid to stand with his back to you against the wall, and you shoot him 4 or 5 times with a paintball gun. That'll work. Uh-huh. That'll work. No?
No.
How about a beanbag? Hit him with a beanbag?
How about you don't get to physically assault anybody? I know it's terrible for you not to be able to physically assault children.
What's going to make them behave? What will make them behave when they start acting like this?
I don't have that answer, but hitting them doesn't.
If you don't have it, you just said an answer. So you said you didn't have an answer. Now you have an answer. You say paddling don't. How do you know? I say let's start shooting them with paintballs.
But okay.
Or a beanbag.
I'm willing to take the chance that paddling doesn't work. So I'm willing
slingshot.
to say no, nothing. I don't want any teacher or anybody else to physically assault my children. Is that a horrible thing?
Fly swatter?
No. Do you not understand physical assault?
A fly swatter is not physical assault. An elbow to the cranium, that's physical assault. A fly swatter is just a behavior correction.
I think we're on two different levels here.
Right, you might be right.
Don't touch my children.
Well, so when I was trying to be a teacher, this came into. I'm just kidding. No, I never tried to be a teacher. I don't know. If you're a teacher, how do you rein these kids in? Because they know that you can't do nothing. When I was growing up, anybody could hit you at any time. All right?
Are you
so
serious?
what happens? Yeah. I'm telling you, I saw a kid one time was giving the neighbor some stuff. He gave him a backhand, knocked him right over the fence.
And the parents didn't do anything?
The parents whooped his ass too, because why are you giving Mr. Smith such a hard time? Now get in there. Yeah.
That's fucked.
We're fine.
We're fine. I don't think you are.
Yeah, we're fine. There's nothing wrong with us.
No, you just want to shoot kids with paintball guns.
Well, I'd get their attention, I would think. Should have with a paintball gun.
Me and Doug did a show about this, actually. It was like
shooting
our
people
third show or something.
With shooting a paintball gun? Or
no,
beating kids?
Beating your kids.
I'm all for it.
I know, you're fucked.
I'm for beating other people's kids. Leave mine alone.
Leave mine alone. So if I could exempt my kids, but let other people's kids be beat, I guess I'm okay with that.
See? There we go. So we are on common ground. Look at us.
There you go.
All right. Also, you guys have a Patreon, or I'm sorry, a PayPal. So if you go to, do you know the link to that?
I don't know. It's under PayPal somewhere. Just type in PayPal and that's it. He said, "Oh my God."
So it's.
I want you to give us money, and I don't even know how to tell you to give us money.
Listen, we want you to give us money. We make it as hard as possible for you to give us money.
Right.
That's what happens. Right.
My job is to make it as hard as possible.
Yes. And then you know what we'll do? We'll bitch, moan, and cry that you don't give us money because you can't, because we don't tell you how.
Right.
Yeah. I think we should end on that.
You can call and leave us a voicemail, 508-974-4489.
Oh, I'm sure Doug will call and leave us a voicemail after this show.
I hope. We're taking his show and running it into the ground.
Yep. We're going to, you know what the name of this episode should be? Flight 93.
Perfect. Oh, shit. I gotta write that down. I'm going to play Doug. I got to write that down.
I got to write that down. Where's it at? Where's my pen?
I got to find a fucking pen.
Flight 93. Why don't you just listen? Oh, I was going to say listen back to it, but that would require work.
Yeah, really. I ain't doing that shit.
Okay.
93. How do you spell that?
There you go.
All right.
9 and a 3.
I got it. That was a joke. You didn't have to answer.
Okay. All right. And again, you know, Doug, we're pulling for you. Anything that I can do that doesn't require physical work or money.
No physical work and no money.
Or no money.
Anything else.
I'm here for you, buddy.
Yep. John's got thoughts and prayers for you.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers. I'm sending thoughts and prayers down to where you are.
Yep.
And, you know, seriously, if you're still listening to this, and I don't know why you would be, if you can, you know, send Doug a little bit of cash if you can. It would, you know, it's good karma. It'll come back to you.
Right.
Well, he's not paying you back, but you know, good things.
It ain't coming back to you that way.
The money's not coming back to you. Right. Something else might come back to you. Hopefully. All right. How do we get out of this? What do we do?
We usually just say bye when we're done.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, do you need shirts to promote your podcast? How about coffee mugs for that artisan bean roasting business you started? What about poker chips with the name and logo of your super secret underground gambling ring? The fine folks over at WeHaveMerch.com will help get your name and logo on just about anything you can think of. Have you ever thought about starting your own Navy? I mean, who hasn't, right? The guys at Who's Right Podcast did just that, and WeHaveMerch.com provided the uniform services. They will handle the orders and delivery. You just concentrate on making people want to wear the shirts with your logo, and let WeHaveMerch.com take care of the rest.